Welcome to the KO Boxing Show. Haven't we got a special show tonight? None other than former WBA World Champion and current number 6 IBF in the world, all the way from Texas, Austin Trout. Welcome to the KO Boxing Show.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to be on the show, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on, champion. Let's go over your career because you've had 38 pro bouts today. December 2012, you defeated the great Mikel Cotto for the WBA world title. What was that moment like for you in December 2012?
It's one of those feelings that I'm trying to recapture. I haven't felt so on top of the world, since that night. But definitely a pivotal moment in my life and career.
Okay, April 2013, you fought Sal Alvarez. And that was a fight a lot of people thought you won. And that was a massive crowd in front of the whole world. What was it like to fight Sal Alvarez?
Well, again, it was almost the perfect night. We had a huge crowd. We had a great fight. Unfortunately, the decision didn't go my way or the way I felt like it should have. But still, it was definitely an event to be a part of. And like the Cotto fight, I'm trying to just recapture that type of glory. All praise to the Most High.
We're from Australia, and you've fought two Australians, Daniel Dawson and Frank Laporta. What can you tell us about Daniel and Frank?
Two tough mates. Frank, he was all heart. Daniel had, one of the hardest right hands I've ever felt. So, Australia definitely got my respect in part of the toughest division. It's always been a dream to get to Australia. I'm looking at the boxing scene there, see who can I fight to make it over there. Jeff Horn, he might need a fight. The Kasazu kid, he might need a fight.
Yeah, Tim Tszyu, that would be an awesome fight. You and Tim Tszyu, you're the current IBF number 6. I think he's number 2 or 3. So you could just about do that fight for an eliminator. Wouldn't that be awesome to get you down under?
That would be great. I'd love to do something like that, Of course, the payment's right. We got to get paid to go down there.
You do. You're doing, obviously, once quarantining and COVID's over as well, because it's hard quarantine here in Australia at the moment. All the tennis players are whinging. It's basically being stuck in one room for 2 weeks. So it gets really like, being stuck in a room for 2 weeks. Let's go over the Shirlow brothers. You fought Jamal and Jamal Shirlow. What were they like fighting both of them? Because both were pretty close fights.
They're good fighters, very strong, very big for, junior middleweight. And, it was definitely an honor to be able to not only fight both fighters, but to take both of them to the distance. If you're looking at all the fights before and after me, they were just knocking everybody out, but not me. I took it to the deep waters, and, it's an honor to be able to do that. I love rematches with everybody I hold a loss to, but I understand I got to work my way back to it. So we're starting February 6th with the comeback fight and, trying to work my way back to another title contention.
You're fighting Garcia. What do you know about Garcia?
That I know that he's one. He carries the tough Mexican blood within him. So we know going and fighting a Mexican in Mexico is never tough, never easy, never walk in the park, which is why we're training extremely hard. We know he likes to fight. He likes to sit in there. And he likes to bang it out. It's going to be one of those situations where am I going to fight harder or fight smarter? And I have to be disciplined enough to use the smart route.
Good one. Also, Ruben Asalas from Ruben Asalas Promotions made this possible. He's both our friends. He's a great man, Ruben, isn't he?
He's a good guy. And shout out to Ruben and his promotion.
Yeah.
And shout out to his promotion. That's the promoter I'll be fighting on February 6th.
Awesome. We mentioned Tim Tszyu. Would you come to Australia if the money was right to fight a Tim Tszyu or a Jeff Horn?
Absolutely. I would rather start with Jeff Horn and then build up for the Tszyu fight.
Okay.
Get two Australia trips and, make it as big as possible.
You'd have to stay away from Vegemite here. And do you like kangaroos?
I've never met one.
Well, no, it's not like Americans think. We haven't got kangaroos jumping around here. It's quite civilized. You'd love it
But
actually if you come here.
it looks beautiful, and I can't wait to go. The one thing I will say I'm afraid of is the spiders that y'all have down in Australia.
Yeah, we do have a few and some snakes, but it's kind of out in the outback. Where in the city you don't see any of that.
Yeah, I'm from New Mexico. I'm from the desert. Snakes are I mean, we have a bunch of rattleheads that kind of just hang out next door. So I'm not afraid of snakes so much as I am the spiders.
Gotcha, gotcha. What's happening now? I mean, in America with this COVID thing, how's it all coming about? Are you guys getting on top of it?
Um, uh, no, maybe now we've had a change of leadership, and who knows, man. I honestly, personally, I don't understand the disease enough, and I've tried to listen to the experts, and the American experts don't seem to understand this disease much at all either. So like America's not doing a very good job with getting COVID under control.
Okay,
Actually,
before we sign the interview off, Austin, what's a funny boxing story you can talk to us about? I always ask a guest, what's the funniest thing that's happened to you in boxing, or have you got a good boxing story?
well, look, I have quite a few good boxing stories, but I guess the funniest one that comes to mind right now, and it really hurt my feelings, is I was in Panama fighting for the #3 spot in the WBA, and I was fighting a guy from Panama. Um, and we went, weighed in, and I got to meet the great Roberto Duran. And he's a hero of mine. He's a hero of my coaches. So it was very crazy to be able to shake his hand and say hello. But as soon as he gives us the hello and pounds us up, shakes our hand, whatever, he turns to my opponent and then tells him in Spanish, "Oh, this American's got a bunch of bitch in him. This should be easy." And I'm like, "Oh, Roberto." Yeah,
That
that
is
hurt my feelings, man. But I went on to beat this guy and did it decisively. So ain't no bitch in this guy, Roberto. Shout out to
scrub him off the list. Put the line through Roberto for that one. Before we sign off the interview, Austin, who's been the best opponent you've ever fought? Because you fought the great Mikel Cotto, you fought Sal Alvarez, you fought the Shirley brothers. Who's the best guy you've ever fought?
Honestly, the best fight I've ever fought was Landy Lara. I mean,
Wow.
skill wise, dominating wise, every loss I've had, no one's dominated me. It's always been a close fight, or a close decision aside from the Hurd fight, which was very close until I couldn't go anymore. But Lara, I never wanted a fight to be over so bad, and it was just, there's nothing I could do to change anything because he just had an answer for everything I had. So the best, definitely Landy Lara, skill wise. Tough wise, physically, I'd say probably Hurd. He had literally no skill and just all physical abilities, and he was able to break me down.
Okay. Before we sign you off, this is nothing to do with you, but I'd love your opinion. Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, after what happened to Conor McGregor getting knocked out, where do you see that fight happening? Would that be a good fight, do you think?
No, absolutely not. And the guy that, I mean, if you saw the hands that Poirier possesses, and he was able to knock Conor out with those, and not take anything away from Dustin Poirier, but he's not a Manny Pacquiao as far as the stand-up goes. No, I don't want to see that fight. I didn't really want to see the fight to begin with, but I knew that it was going to be good for boxing. It would have brought a lot of crossover fans, and so for the sake of boxing, I was like, yeah, let's see it. But now that McGregor got knocked out, in the fashion that he did, it wasn't like he got choked out or tapped out. He was knocked out. That's not going to do anything for boxing. It's going to make it, I think, more of a spectacle. So not anymore. I don't want to see it.
Okay. Austin, thank you for your time, my friend. You're in training camp. Keep up the
Yeah.
great work, and we look forward to you becoming a world champion again, getting that feeling
Thank
back,
you.
as you said.
Absolutely. Welterweight division, I'm coming for you. And junior middleweights, don't relax. I'm still coming for you too.
Well, call out. Who would you like to call out in the welterweights if you had to call someone?
Oh, Pete Thurman, you need some action, homie. Let's fight.
No,
Let's
thank
fight,
you.
Pete. Thank you.
Even Manny Pacquiao, you too. Well, you too,
Manny
South.
Pacquiao, Jeff Horn.
Jeff
I'll
Horn.
come over there and fight you. And after I'm done with Jeff, Tim Zoo. Let's make a huge fight down south. I would love to come and oblige. We can build it up by me knocking off Jeff Horn, and then we can knock it out by me knocking you out. So I'm looking forward to this, to your response, Jeff and Zoo.
Okay, Austin, thanks for your time, my friend. God bless, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Peter. Have a great one.
Thank you.